What's up, guys? Thunder Alley here back. I made a video yesterday. It was the best video probably I've made in a long time, so thank you guys for that. I actually got copyrighted, which is hilarious, but we're back again this time with some new clips. No Colts in it, obviously, because of what happened, but this team is heading in the right direction. I was reading an article earlier, I think it was from Bolts from the Blue or something, and it was asking, are you confident in this team moving forward? And to me, that shouldn't even be a question. Is there any Charger fan listening right now that is not confident with this team moving forward? They clinched the playoffs. Now, the job's not finished, right? Right now, if the playoffs were to start, you're facing the Bengals. That is not where you want to be. Now, I know the Chargers can beat the Bengals, but a team that's won 7 in a row with Joe Burrow against a defense, sure, the past 3 weeks, Dolphins, Titans, Colts, it's been great. Those offenses aren't Joe Burrow, right? And these guys. So getting up to the 5th seed is absolutely essential. Because you go up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are a really good team. They're hot in their own right. They've won, what, 4 or 5? Trevor Lawrence is another stud, but they're a younger team. They're not a team that just went to the Super Bowl a year ago, right? So I'm looking at the Chargers, and I'm saying that I still have concerns with this team. I never thought I'd be saying this, but offensively was not pretty. I'm a Colts fan, right? So I know what our defense can do, but I also know what your guys' offense should be doing, and wasn't very pretty. The defense completely carried. And the thing that deserves to be talked about the most from that game was field goals, right? The Chargers were scoring touchdowns instead of those field goals. This would have been a blowout. So if the Chargers can execute better in the red zone, they can beat anyone, man. And the defense is getting back Joey Bosa. Derwin James is in concussion protocol, which is not ideal, but the past couple of weeks, they've been getting key guys back, and that's why the defense is playing much better. So there's no doubt the Chargers have underachieved most of the season. The defense is peaking at the right time, however, 3 straight games won. First playoff berth since 2018. Only gave up 3 points to the Colts. The Colts are, I believe, the 25th ranked offense at the top of my head, but they were at home coming off of an embarrassing 33-point blown lead to the Vikings, so I figured we'd come out aggressive. But honestly, your guys' pass rush went ham. I mean, when was the last time I said went ham, bro? That's actually hilarious. That was probably like 10 years ago. But your guys' defense was getting to Nick Foles. Your secondary was stout. I mean, you were just flying over the field. Like it was impressive, man. Even though the Colts' offense sucks, it was an impressive game nonetheless. And the team is heading in the right direction. Like that's pretty much what I got from it. And I'm looking at December 11th, right? The Dolphins were on a 5-game winning streak. The Chargers, they shut down their offense. It was impressive. And then just a week later, Derrick Henry. That game, he did go over 100 yards, but I want to say his longest run was 13. So, and then the game against the Colts just shut them down completely. Now, Herbert, he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in consecutive games for the first time in his career. 3 years. He also has committed 4 turnovers in the past 2 games. Now, I'll say this right now. Now, listen closely. If you're still listening, I appreciate you. This is where the fun begins for you Star Wars fans. But Kansas City Chiefs, right? So some of you guys, most of you guys probably didn't watch their game against the Seahawks. I want to say they only ran the ball 3 times in the second half. Well, wait a minute. They were up 17 in the third quarter. They didn't run? No. That's the difference between the Chiefs and the Chargers. And you guys aren't going to want to hear this, but I really don't care. That's why the Chiefs are the Chiefs and you guys are the Chargers. Because Andy Reid is saying the hell with running the ball. We have Patrick Mahomes. Let's put the ball in his hands. To where Lombardi is going to be like, oh, we're up 17 in the third quarter? Let's just keep handing it off and let them come back and win that game. The one against the 49ers irritated me the most. The first half, you were winning that game. The second half, you didn't score. Well, why is that? Oh, because predictable first down runs, right? You can't be predictable with Justin Herbert. It's just not going to get it done. I mean, Justin Herbert, and this is from an outsider. Remember, I'm not a Charger fan. This was my first ever team channel, so that's why I loved it. That's why I'm here, because like I didn't even hit any other team channels. I love the Chargers and their fans. I've got a Charger hat. Ride or die with this team, man. But that's what I'm coming from is like Justin Herbert is on the same level as Burrow and Mahomes and Josh Allen. He doesn't have the help as those guys do, whether it be his defense ranking 28th or last against the run, or maybe it's his offensive coordinator, his weapons are out. I mean, if you give Justin Herbert, like if the Chargers were fully healthy right now, we'd be having a much different discussion. We'd be talking about this team winning a Super Bowl. But the fact that they've gotten to the playoffs and have a chance to compete is impressive in its own right. And give credit to Brandon Staley, right? I've given him some crap. You guys have, I'm sure, as well. He has these guys in a position. It takes a good coach to claim that. I mean, I know Justin Herbert, it helps, but if Brandon Staley was a bad coach, the Chargers would not have clinched a playoff berth. It's as simple as that, man. Let me know if you agree or disagree on that take, but the winning streak, defensive turnaround, I'm crediting a lot to the former Rams. I guess, what? Was he the defensive coordinator? Yeah, but he was the Rams defensive coordinator in 2020. They had a top-ranked defense. So credit to, shout out Brandon Staley. He's done a great job. I like Brandon Staley a lot. Of course, his aggressiveness to go for it on fourth down and not take points is frustrating, but at the same time, it really isn't, because I'm putting the ball in Justin Herbert's hands every single time. I mean, if you can't pick up a fourth down, 4th and 3 or less, 4th and 1, 4th and 2, I mean, that it is what it is. But I'm not huge at analytics, but again, always play to your best guy's strengths. And if you look into like the recent run, the Chargers defense has been disappointing. 26, allowing 371.7 yards per game in the first 12. The past 3 weeks, though, they have allowed a league-low 34 points, given up an average of 225.3 yards per game, 13 sacks. Second to Philadelphia's 19. And yes, they went up against, well, first of all, they actually went up against the Dolphins, who are one of the best offenses. They also went up against the Titans and the Colts, but it's impressive, man. It really is. And Joey Bosa's return to practice. Oh my God, the league is in trouble. The league is in trouble right now. The Ravens are 10-5. They have a 6-4 conference record. Both of Baltimore's remaining games are against AFC and division foes. So the Chargers, they're at 9-6, 7-4 in the conference. They have a game against the Rams and Broncos. So if the Ravens split their final 2 games to finish 11-5 with a 7-5 conference record, the Chargers, they got to win out their next 2, and they're going to finish 11-6, and they'd have an 8-4 conference record. So they would go ahead of the Ravens for the 5th seed. Now, you might be wondering, well, why the hell are you mentioning that? Who cares? Well, it's pretty simple, and I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but just to reiterate myself, would you rather play the Bengals or the Jags? Now, if you say the Bengals, you're a psycho. If you want to play, you're an absolute psycho, a menace. If you want to play the Bengals over the Jags, maybe somebody does, but most of you probably want to go up against the 7-8 Jags rather than a team that's won 7 in a row, and that game would be in Cincinnati as well. Sure, you'd have to go to Jacksonville because they're winning the division, but again, it's a young team that just has over-exceeded this season. So now the Chargers' red zone offense is 26th in the league. Goal to go is 28th. That is not going to get it done. 23 of the Chargers' 28 total field goals this season have been 39 yards or less. Or basically, kicks from the 20-yard line and in. They're not really moving the ball where they want to be. And 10th overall in third down conversion rate, it helps that case, right? Play cleaner football. Red zone is the most important area of the field. Staley and his staff, the players, they've all spoke about this. Cameron Dicker, if his field goals can become touchdowns, the Chargers are going to make noise. But I appreciate you guys. If you made it to the end of the video, I need you to go down below and honestly, I just thought of this at the top of my head, but let me know your thoughts on Phillip Rivers. I know he didn't exactly get it done, but I just remember when he went over to the Colts and we made the playoffs. That was the last time we did. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, I just want to hear your guys' thoughts. And actually, you know what? Compare Phillip Rivers to Justin Herbert. And I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say as fans of the Chargers. I mean, like, what's the difference right now with your mindset between, we had Rivers and we have Herbert? I'd love to know. And yeah, peace.